Metal Night Sports back in the building. You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? We're alive. You feel me? We're talking about a couple of things. We got my co-host here, Micah. You know what I'm saying? Um, just like regular, back like we never left, man. Hell yeah. Oh man, this was a good weekend of fights, man. This was a good Saturday of fights, man. Tell me your favorite fight that took place on Saturday. Hello, you there?
Yeah, my Wi-Fi is still coming back to life. So
Okay.
yeah, say it again.
What was your favorite fight this weekend, man?
Definitely Moreno Pantoja, man. Definitely that was my favorite fight. Um, yeah, just nonstop back and forth action, very close fight. Um, Ultimately, I did think Pantoja won. He did he, uh, excuse me, he edged it, man. He just edged it. Um, what really did it was I thought was the knockdown and the control time. Even though Brandon Moreno was touching him up way more, on the feet, he was doing way more. He landed more significant strikes. Um,
Mhm.
but Pantoja landed a knockdown, and he was taking him down almost every time he wanted to take him down. I think there was only
Wow.
two times when he didn't secure the takedown, or maybe it was one time that he didn't secure the takedown. But yeah, I did give it to Pantoja. Gritting my teeth. Biting my lip, because I wanted Brandon to win. But at the end of the day, I had to be unbiased and be like, I believe that Pantoja
Mhm.
won, bro. So
Yeah.
so yeah, so new flyweight champion.
New flyweight champion, man.
Yep.
Does that bring Brandon down as a champion where he's not able to defend his championship
No, I
consistently?
mean it's a guy that he lost to already, so it's just like
But still, you know what I'm saying? I
no.
mean, for you to be a dom
The thing
for you
is,
to be a great champion, you need to be dominant.
here's the thing. Here's the thing, is that division is very deep. That division is deeper because it's flyweight, bro. Like people are not, it's smaller guys. They're not gonna get as much attention. They're just not gonna get as much attention. Also, like a lot of those guys, I think, Brandon Moreno's not the greatest at like being a star or like selling his he's not like Conor McGregor, or he's not like Izzy,
Mhm.
he's not like John Jones, people like
Mhm.
that. He's not that kind of fighter. Neither was Figueredo can't really speak English, so that holds him back in that regard. They don't really have anybody in their division besides Kai Car France.
Mhm.
He talks some. Besides him, they don't really have very many people in their division that are like that. Um, but it's a deep division.
Indeed.
They just
But
don't
but
get the
but
attention.
well, that's I agree. But at the end of the day, for you to be a great champion, you can't keep losing, bro. I
Yeah,
mean,
but
I agree. I agree. He's a great fighter,
most of his
but we're talking.
championship losses though are to Figueredo. And Figueredo was a dominant champion for a very long time.
Oh yeah. So how long did he hold the championship before Brandon fought him?
Um, I have to see how many times he defended it. Give me one
Yeah,
second.
because I think if you're going to be a great champion, bro, you need to defend the championship at least 3 times, 2 to 3 times, bro. I mean, if you keep winning it and then losing it, I mean, you're a great fighter, but we're talking about championship defenses, bro. I mean, Deontay Wilder defended his championship 10 times, 10 times. You feel me? Um,
Hmm.
No, Errol Spence's defended his championship. I don't know how many times, but Terrence Crawford has defended his championships numerous times. He's one of the longest reigning champions in the sport. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? Izzy, with addition with the exception of Alex Pereira, what how many what 6 or 7 six defenses, right? I believe
Yeah, I
in
believe
a
so. Yeah.
row.
Yeah.
Yeah, with exception with Alex, obviously we got John Jones with like what, or sorry, Anderson Silva with like what, 14,
That
something
was his
stupid like that.
that was his win streak. His title defenses I would have to look at. But
Yeah, it's
yeah.
definitely like eight. It's over eight. I know that. I
Yeah,
know
no,
that.
for sure.
Yeah, like so
But
it's like it's
he
whether the division's deep, right? You got to be able to separate yourself from these dudes because I mean, don't get me wrong. Like I said, I think Brandon Moreno is a great fighter. I do, but if you keep losing the championship, it just what I'm saying. I mean, like it just takes me like, oh man, this guy lost again, type shit. Like, you know what I mean? He's a great fighter though.
I
And
honestly, bro, I'm wrong.
what?
Davison Figueiredo's only defended one time. He took the belt from
Moreno.
no. He or excuse me, twice. Um fought Benavidez eh, or excuse me, took the belt from I think it was a vacant, but he got the belt. Him and Joseph Benavidez fought. I believe that he defended it against Benavidez, defended it against Alex Perez, lost to Brandon Moreno, or excuse me, draw with Brandon Moreno. So he actually technically defended it there as well. So that's three
Is it three
two or
defenses?
three title defenses. And the first time him and Joseph Benavidez fought, I am trying to. I don't think it was for. Was it for the championship? Because it doesn't say it was. Here on the UFC website, it doesn't say that it was, but he defended it against Alex Perez. Um, their second fight, him and Joseph Benavidez, was a title fight, which he won, and he had that draw with Brandon Moreno in their first fight. Um, so he technically defended it there, lost it to Brandon Moreno in the next fight, won it back from Brandon Moreno in the next fight, lost it to Brandon Moreno in the next fight. So
So how
I
much is
mean,
that? Two or three?
two or three, yeah.
Yeah,
It's a deep division, bro.
definitely, definitely. So yeah, that was a great fight, man. I mean, again, like I said, I'm rooting for Marino, but he needs to start defending this championship consistently, bro. He needs to stop losing, bro. I just gotta be real. I gotta be, I mean, we hold these dudes to high standards. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, if you're gonna be a champion, I'm holding you to a certain standard. If you're gonna be a dominant, if you're gonna be one of the greatest, you know what I'm saying, I'm holding you to a certain standard. You know what I'm saying? Where you're able to defend your title multiple times. I don't want to see you win it, lose it, win it, lose it. I don't want to see that. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to see that. I want you to be winning it consistently. That's the standard I'm holding these guys to.
Eh.
You know what I'm saying? But of course, obviously, I'm not saying it's. I know the fight game. I'm not saying it's he's bad or anything like that. I'm just saying in the terms of being a champion and being regarded as one of the greats. This is what the standard I gotta hold you to. You know what I'm saying? Because if you keep winning and losing, that's a 50% kill ratio. That's not that good. You know what I'm saying? Do you hear
Mhm.
where I'm coming from? Yeah. So but uh, uh second favorite fight of that card.
Um, I would have to go with what's it called? Ooh, oh my goodness.
Well,
No, stop. Uh, I don't understand why their names are literally leaving me right now. But oh my gosh, bro.
Whitaker.
No. I mean, yeah, the Whitaker fight was that was crazy. That was completely unexpected. Dreykus
Wait,
Duplessis
wait,
and
wait. Hold
Robert
on, hold on,
Whitaker.
hold on, hold on. We're gonna get to him because we're gonna cook on him actually.
Uh,
But I want you to tell me. Try to remember that fight. You're trying to remember.
oh my goodness, man, I have to look it up. This was UFC 290.
Two.
290. No, it's
Two.
290.
Oh, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're right. You're right.
290. Oh yeah, duh. Jalen Turner and Dan Hooker.
Oh yeah, that was a crazy fight, man. That was a crazy fight. That was
Ye-
I mean, I personally had Jalen. Well, again, I didn't see the first round, but if you said Jalen won the first round, I had Jalen winning the fight. I
it
thought he won
was
the second round as well. but he definitely lost the third round.
It was
Um,
it see it's so the judging criteria is not as, how do I say it? It's not as straightforward as we would like to see.
mm,
The scoring system is kind of messed up. Um
mm,
so damage does trump all. Um even if you land more, like damage trump, like for example, like in Dustin Poirier and in Max Holloway when they fought. Max landed more, but Dustin landed harder, essentially. So Dustin won that fight, won that fight by decision. That was in one of their fights. In the other one, they fought twice. In the other one, he Dustin won by armbar. Um,
wait. You tell me Dustin and Gaethje fought twice
Dustin
already?
Max Holloway.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, Dustin Poirier and Max Holloway.
okay.
Um, but yeah, but damage is supposed to trump all. Um, but the thing is, he had Jalen Turner on wobbly legs.
He
Dan
did.
Hooker wasn't really
He did.
ever really one. There was only really one time where Dan Hooker was hurt bad. And he
I don't
survived
know. I don't know. I mean, it was
in the
he took
first round.
he okay. All right. The second round though, he ate two nasty ass head kicks. Was
Oh yeah,
wobbly,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
he was able to recover. Like it was bad, but he was able to come back at the end of the round.
yeah.
And I
It's
think ultimately,
definitely a little bit
that
controversial.
yeah, I think ultimately that won him the fight. You know what I'm saying? Because he was able to come back in the second round at the end. But I
Yeah,
don't think he did enough to win that round personally. I mean, if you get caught with those two big shots and you know what I'm saying, you're looking to survive. I thought Jalen just did more in that second round. But I
yeah.
think that's what ultimately won the fight.
No,
Um
he absolutely dominated the first round. Jalen Turner did. Um,
he's good, man. He
he was
has it
good.
all. Like
It was
he has the potential to
Yeah, it was
do
really
really
just like
great
it was a
things.
conditioning problem. I believe that
Yeah,
if he
yeah.
didn't gas
Facts.
out, like it would have been a long night for Dan
I
Hooker.
agree. I agree.
If he didn't gas out, um,
1000%.
he could have put him. He
1000%.
definitely could have put him away. I believe.
Yeah, if he had the right conditioning, man, he could have really did some damage, man, but
Yeah,
his conditioning wasn't great
it was
and
honestly
it showed.
he looked really good, like
Yeah.
really good in that first round. So I mean, if he can fix his conditioning, I'm actually really excited for where he can go, man. And like,
Crazy part, they're lightweight, man. That's the crazy part. I didn't know these
mhm,
guys are lightweights, man.
yeah,
Lightweight. This is the same, as Islam and Charles and all. I mean, damn, the new generation.
yeah.
Are these guys new? Jalen's new, right?
No. Jalen's a bit new, yeah. Dan Hooker's been around the block. Dan Hooker
Okay,
fought Dustin Poirier, and I think it was it 2020 that they fought. Yeah, it was 2020 because I think there may have been no crowd. Dan
no
Hooker,
crowd.
Dustin Port. Oh my, yeah, I think it was in 2020 because yeah, June 27th, 2020. You could hear the shots, bro, that they were landing. It was
Wow.
so, you got to watch that fight. I don't know if you watched the fight, but I've been telling you that you need to watch that fight. That was, that was one of the best fights in history, bro. As
Seriously?
far as it was just a war, bro. One of the best fights in the history of the sport. Just absolute war.
Wow. Wow. Okay. Well, yeah, I'll watch that. I got a lot of UFC fights to watch, of course. Um, let's get into let's save the most controversial for the last. So let's get into Volk, man. Let's get into Volk, man.
Okay.
Uh, this dude Volk is different. I mean, I know we've said this before. I know that we already know this, but he just showed that Yair Rodriguez had no business going into the ring with him, going into the octagon. Had
His
no
his
business.
his grappling is just not up to par. I mean, really the thing, he, Volk opened up his striking a lot because he had that takedown that he could hit. Yair was kind of he was reserved in his striking. He was pretty reserved in his
Well,
striking.
because he kept getting when he was striking, right?
Hmm.
Number one, Volk was was evading them. He was defending them very well, right? He wasn't able
Volk's
to catch
fast.
him. It's fast, man. He's fast. He's very good at judging the distance as well. And then also as soon as he'd open up, Volk would take him down. So he's very hesitant to even go, to try to do what he normally does to dudes. And that's why I said Volk was able to take away Yair's best attributes. That's what makes you a great fighter. If you're able to take away someone's great attributes, great advantages when fighting them, that's what makes you a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? Because you're able to adapt on the fly and show and do things to put things into your advantage essentially, and essentially completely control the outcome. What do you think? I'm getting some water, but I'm listening.
Yeah, yeah, no, you're absolutely correct. No, so that's what I mean by like he was not able to essentially open up his striking.
Yeah,
And yeah, and that, yes, that's his greatest attribute. And basically, he almost like the John Jones effect. He John Jones will attack your strengths.
yeah.
He will
Hey,
attack your strengths in like you just won't have anything. You won't have any answer.
yep,
Some people, okay, I'm gonna try and cover my holes and my weaknesses, or I'm gonna try if I'm not good on the ground, I'm just gonna try to stay away from there. But
yeah.
but the thing is, he'll beat you on the feet and he'll beat you on the ground. That's basically what happened with Volkanovski and Yair, man. He was beating him on the feet as well, really keeping him at bay, evading everything. Anytime he would,
Throw that
throw a
kick.
kick, even
Mm-hmm.
the head kick,
Mm-hmm.
he would just in the because usually it's like a body kick. You have to worry about the leg kick, yeah, but not so much. But usually, you like what you have to worry about is like a body kick being caught. And like you'll see strikers like if they are fighting a wrestler, they won't really throw too many. Usually won't really throw. Obviously, the best guys always break the rules. The best guys, but you won't see
Exception to
strikers.
the rule.
Yeah, 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 yeah. You won't see too many strikers throw body kicks when they're fighting a wrestler, a really good wrestler, because
Right.
you could so easily get the kick. They're literally throwing the kick at
Is
their hands
is
like
it
a
more
rare.
so they throw head kicks, if anything, at
Yeah,
that
but
point?
more head kicks or more leg kicks, or more calf kicks,
Okay, right, right.
where it's
It's harder
yeah, like
mm-hmm.
yeah, like calf kicks to like the outside, or something like that. I mean, just calf kicks in general, but you won't. It's harder to catch a kick if it's down there or if it's at your head. You have to like direct it up. When you throw it at the body, it's already there, and they could just catch it. So that's why you'll see strikers not throw a lot of body kicks when they're dealing with wrestlers. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but Yair threw it at the head, and he was still able to catch it and bring him down. Really good wrestlers can they can just do that. That's just the thing that you got to accept. Even when you look at um Francis Ngannou and Cyril Gane, when Cyril Gane he got slammed. That was a head kick that he went for, but Francis
Mm-hmm.
was able
Mm-hmm.
to evade it. First of all, Cyril Gane didn't throw it very well. It didn't land great. Um, he wasn't really at the proper range when he threw that kick, and then basically Francis was able to like underhook his leg and then lift him and just dump him.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah, but Volk just essentially, dominated, bro. He dominated. But Yair really did not have an answer for him. He could not find any openings. Yair really never got going.
It never really got going. He wasn't able to. I was waiting. I'm like, okay, okay, all right, one
Yeah,
round, okay, cool,
I was
right? But
expecting a much different fight.
yeah, I was expecting more of a challenge, but
Yeah,
he just showed he's just man, like he's just so different. He's so much. He's a level above these dudes, and I don't know what the hell
yeah.
is next for him other than fighting Islam. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, yeah.
Like at this point,
I think he
no
won. I
one.
still think he won against Islam. I really still think that he edged out that victory. But
I
no,
do as well.
you can
I
make an
do as well.
argument, but it
Yeah,
was it was
yeah. It
close.
wasn't a robbery. It wasn't a robbery.
Yeah, I
It
wouldn't
was a
say that.
close fight. It was a close fight, but I think Volk definitely. was able to come home with that. He should have been able to come home with that W. But definitely wasn't a robbery. Close fight. Both guys definitely, showed that they wanted it. But I don't know what else he does at flyweight. Or sorry, what is it? What is it? Is
Feather,
it flyweight?
featherweight.
Featherweight. Yeah. I don't know what else he does, man. There's no one else that could touch him. Max not gonna fuck with him no. Max not gonna mess with him no more. That
That
he
it's
can't.
crazy because like it's almost the Moreno and Figueredo effect, where it's like these guys are gonna have to fight like freaking 4 or 5 times.
Hmm.
Because yeah,
But I mean, could he force that? I mean, if he keeps winning, would he force that, Max? But here's
Max
the thing,
only
right?
that's the only person that Max loses to. Like that's the thing. Like Max beat Josh Emmett. He beat Yair.
Hmm.
It was much. That fight was insane too. Like that's another fight that you should watch. Um, but and I'm also concerned for Max's head because he just gets in every fight with Max is a war. Every single fight that I watch is just
Yeah,
a war.
straight,
You know.
straight, just a slug,
Um,
slugfest.
and he still wins because he lands so much, like lands the most, but also takes the most damage. But it's
Right.
just like, you know, I I just don't want like what happened to like Tony Ferguson to happen to Max.
Like
Which I
what do
don't
you?
think Max is still young. I think Max is 29.
Was
Uh
29. That's
yeah,
bad, bro. That's very
I
bad.
know.
If he's 29 and he's taking the most significant strikes in
I
in
don't know
um
if
in
he
in, in in the
I,
UFC,
I don't know if he
that's
takes
very bad.
no, I think he has taken the most. I don't know. I know that he's landed the most strikes. But he may have taken the most. I don't know if he takes like if it's like the highest rate or if he like literally just takes the most strikes or has taken the most strikes,
Yeah,
excuse me.
he's absorbed the most significant strikes,
Yeah.
or absorbed the most strikes in general, type something like that, right?
No,
That's
no, you're
the
right. That wouldn't even make sense what I said. No, you're right.
hmm And if he's gonna be
No, it's actually 31. He's 31.
31,
Excuse me.
that's still young.
Yeah, he's still young. He's basically in his prime.
Yeah, that's not good. That's not good. Though he doesn't spar, so he doesn't take that
That's very
damage,
true. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
right? That does definitely play a part in it for
I
sure.
mean, the not sparring thing. Yeah, I agree with Max
Yeah,
that
honestly, I really get that. I mean, I'm not saying I get it, but I
yeah,
really
it's just
think it works for him.
at the level. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like at the level he's at, and his for his style,
Yeah,
it's the best. Like
yeah,
it's kind of like you almost need to do that because
yeah.
you don't want to you don't want to be like these boxers who spar like or fight like they spar like they fight, you
Hmm.
know, and then they
Hmm.
do that like every couple of times a week. By the time they get to their
Yeah,
freaking by the time they get to the end of the career, it's like their brains are falling apart.
or can't even talk. You
Can't
know,
talk, can't problem solve, can't
yeah,
can't
they can't
really
function as a regular human, really. They
I
keep,
know it's really like they've turned into like almost like a vegetable, bro.
vegetable. Yeah,
But
yeah. It's sad. It's I think personally, I think you should spar hard once a week.
I don't
Once
even
a
think
week.
that
How much do you guys do? Well, when you
sparring
were
hard.
hard,
I
yeah.
think you should only spar hard before you have a fight.
But then couldn't you get? Are you more susceptible to get injured before the fight?
No, because no, nah, I mean sparring not hard all the time, leading up to it is going to, get your technique
Yeah,
correct, and you're going to
definitely,
learn the defense before you
definitely,
can
definitely.
get hit. So it's not honestly, you just need to be put in danger, essentially, but like spot, and your friend your it's not like you're going 100% to the head. Like your
Hmm.
sparring partner's not going to knock you out.
Hmm. Hmm.
But hard sparring is not like that. That's the thing. Like hard sparring isn't even the same as like being in a fight because you spar hard.
You're right.
Hard does not mean 100%. Just means hard.
Right, right. It just means, yeah, no, it means you're just putting some with that punch. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying? You're
exactly.
putting some steam into it. You know what I'm saying? You're
Hmm.
putting some steam into the punch. But to this day, I've never even sparred 100%. I don't know what. I've never gone 100%.
I've gone 100% to the body, but I've never gone 100% to that. I've obviously not in like a fight
Sparring.
setting, but I in
Uh,
sparring, I've never gone 100% to the head.
Most I think I've gone is 80, whether it was the head or the body. I
Hmm.
think I was only gone like about 80%.
Yeah.
Because honestly, bro, usually when I've tried to go, well, when I go over 80, bro, something happens. I get injured or something like that, bro. Like this, just I don't know. My body just gets just something
Probably
happens, bro.
tense up, bro.
Huh?
Tense up a little bit.
Maybe so, man. I don't know. But yeah, it's I. But yeah, I think once a week is good. But of course, to each his own, of course. But I think at most once a week. Because we were doing it, but we're sparring hard every day. Every day we were sparring hard, and my body could not sustain it, and I kept getting injured. You know what I'm saying? Every day. Monday, only day we wouldn't spar. Only day we didn't have practice was Wednesday. So from Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, we're sparring hard.
My shit just
You know what I'm saying?
froze.
Yeah, you're good now.
Okay.
Um, but yeah, we were sparring hard. You know what I'm saying? And the crazy part is like, if you did throw soft, if you did, throw, not hard, he would stop you. He'd be like, no, 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 no. You need to hit hard. Like I remember he did that to me. I was fighting, and like I wasn't hitting that hard. Like right, I didn't, because the guy was, a little bit younger than me. Well, he's a lot younger than me actually, and he actually stopped me. Said, "No, no, you need to start hitting hard." And then I had to, I had to put some steam behind the punches, and I felt bad. I'm not gonna front, but that's just what they do.
I've
That's just
seen
what
guys get
boxing.
knocked out in boxing gyms. Like, why is it's just a culture, bro? There's literally no need. There's literally no need for that.
Hey,
Like you
bro,
got
I agree.
like
I agree
there's
with you.
literally zero need. Like you're not what are you trying to create warriors,
The
bro?
the the
Like
thing about it, and I see both sides. I agree with you, obviously more. But I also see the coach's side because the thing about it is he's preparing you for an amateur fight. In amateur fights, you only have 3 rounds to 4 rounds to actually do things. It's not like a 12-round fight where you could feel dudes out,
mhm,
take a round off. You got to go in there and try to kill him from the first round. So I see what he's trying to do. At the same time, I obviously think longevity wise, what you're saying, training wise, is better. But I see what he's doing because again, the amateur stuff, you got to go there and try to kill him first round. You can't take no one. I mean, just like a 3 rounder in UFC, one round can make the whole fight.
mhm.
Can make the difference between you winning the fight or you losing the fight. You know what I'm saying? So he's training for an amateur type of style, and that's why dudes that stay in the amateurs too long, right? They don't do too well in the pros because the style is different. You can't transfer that same style into the pros because it's completely different. It's not a different sport, but it's a different way of winning the fight. It's a different way of
Yeah,
not
you have to pace yourself in
you gotta
professional
pace yourself
boxing.
because you're in a 12-round fight. You're not in no 3 rounds. You know what I'm saying? You're in a 12-rounder, 10-rounder. You know what I'm saying? Maybe even a 6-rounder, right? So
Yeah.
you got to be able to pace yourself and learn to to what's it called basically get through the whole fight if need be, right? And what if the dude, you keep hitting him and he don't go down, just like the fight with Jaron Ennis and Romain Villa. You know what I'm saying? I don't know, I showed you the knockout, but he lasted up into the 10th round, Micah. He lasted up into the 10th round. But the crazy part is, from the 6th round, he was getting hurt to the point where he was almost knocked out. So you gotta imagine yourself, right? You're fighting a dude, and you're basically knocking him out every single round from the sixth. From the 6th round, he was almost knocked out, but he kept on surviving, right? So
Mhm.
and by the 10th round, he was able to finally get him out of there. But you don't know sometimes, bro. You might face a dude. He's not willing to go down. He's not willing to fold. And sometimes they make it to the 12th round. What if you gas out? You know what I'm saying? And essentially, and I thought Jaron Ennis fought that fight very smart because I was saying to myself while I'm watching the fight, like, man, he needs to get him out of there. But he stayed patient. He stayed patient
Yeah.
and he didn't try to empty the tank out once he saw that he was hurt. You know
Mhm.
what I'm saying? Because I think if he had done that, who knows, bro? The other guy could have, came back. Just like what's the guy's name? The guy that fight Jalen Turner.
Dan Hooker.
Yeah, Dan Hurker, man, he came back. Not to say that Jalen Turner tried to empty the tank, but he wasn't able to sustain his work rate.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's different, man. The conditioning for boxing, bro, you gotta be A1. You gotta be. It's a different thing than amateurs, man. You gotta be able to do some crazy stuff in there, man. Road work, running. You know what I'm saying? Rounds and rounds and rounds of the bag. you know, so it's just different, man. It's just different, man. But let's talk about Jaron Ennis, man. Obviously, he was able to take down Roman Villa in the 10th round, which was a nasty knockout. He essentially collapsed when he took him down. Man. It was like a whoosh, you know, it was a really
Mhm.
good knockout, man. That guy was tough, man, but he had no business being in there with John, man. He was gonna, people, I don't know if they're thinking that John was gonna lose this fight. Listen, Villa is a dude that's gonna stand in front of you. You know, if you stand
Yeah.
in front of Boots, he's gonna take you out. You gotta, like you gotta be able to have movement. But nonetheless, you know what I'm saying, he was able to take him down, and essentially get that W. I think he's definitely ready for Keith Thurman. I think he's ready for Ugas. I think he's ready for
Mhm.
everyone. I think he's pretty much ready for everyone except Spence and Crawford. I think he loses to them both still, or at least right now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's just what I think because I think they're more experienced, man. They're a little bit too much for him for the moment. Um, and they're going to present some issues that he hasn't dealt with yet. But he needs to go ahead and get some veterans on his resume. And once he gets those veterans on the resume, once he starts to go get that experience, he's going to be a real problem for these dudes, and he's probably going to become undisputed at 147 after this fight with Spence and Crawford. So I'm very proud of the way he fought that fight, man. I thought it was absolutely great. Um, you know what I'm saying? Just really,
Yeah.
really, really good.
Yeah,
But
that I
What?
told you about this boxer, he fought this Russian guy, but it wasn't Jaron Ennis.
It
I
wasn't John
hon
Energy.
No, honestly, I think it was a middleweight fighter.
I'm trying to figure out a Russian dude, and he was black, right?
Yeah.
That he fought.
He was
Bro, I
Russian or
don't
Ukrainian.
bro, I'm really trying to remember, bro.
'Cause, bro, he was just putting the beats on him, and I cannot remember his name. I'm pretty sure it was a heavy not a heavyweight, a
A middleweight?
middleweight. Dude, I'm really about to go
Man, I don't know.
boxing
I don't
rankings.
know.
Because, man, like, this is gonna eat me up that I can't. I literally watched the fight. I literally went
You said
back
you
and just
Oh yeah, you did.
yeah, I watched it. I watched the whole fight. It may haunt me, bro, that I actually can't.
Mhm.
I know it wasn't no, it wasn't, I know it wasn't light heavy just because, of the pace.
Was it a black guy? Did he have short hair? Long hair?
Short hair.
Short hair. Middleweight. It wasn't Charlo, you would have known that.
Yeah.
Um
It could Demetrius Andrade. Demetrius Andrade.
he's dreads though.
Yeah, I don't think it was
His
him.
locks.
Oh my goodness. I'm bro.
Who was it? You figured it out?
No. No, I can't remember. I can't remember.
Damn. I wish I could remember myself, man. I don't
Wait,
know.
middleweight? I wasn't even looking at middleweight that time. I was looking at light heavy.
I'm trying to
Um,
think of any middleweights even at or watching middleweights anyway. I don't know any dudes that are like, significant names. Only guy I know. No, and that was Charlo. That was Charlo. He fought. It was Derevchenko, I think. But I don't think he was putting on the beats on him. I mean, he won the fight, but he wasn't putting the beats on him. I don't think.
Was it Shane Mosley?
No,
It's
Shane Mosley's a welterweight, and that's an older fighter. It was
yeah.
a newer fighter, say? It was a newer
It was a
fight,
younger guy. Yeah.
but it was a recent fight though.
Yeah, fairly recent. Within the last couple of years. I want to say within the last year. Oh my goodness.
Um,
It could have been welterweight as well.
it was welterweight, bro. Jaron fought a Russian dude. His prior fight, or a Russian looking dude. I don't know if he's for sure from Russia, but he looked Russian. And Jaron won every round, but by the same time, the dude was able to evade a lot of stuff. And his movement was really good. Making the
Yeah.
miss pay. But I
Yeah,
didn't
this
think
guy
it was.
was like a step ahead of him, was touching him at will. It looked like a sparring session. Okay. It looked like a sparring session between a guy who is really good and a guy who should not be in there.
Mhm.
And the guy who just walked in. No, I don't want to say just walked to, but it looked like a sparring session against the guy who's been boxing for a few years and against the professional.
Wow.
That's how it looked. But I'm so like I cannot believe I can't find the dude's name. Oh my gosh, man! And I don't
That's
even know how I'm gonna find it. Like, what do I even look up?
Russian dude. Yeah, I don't know. That's gonna be tough. That's gonna be a tough one, bro. But if you can remember it, definitely remember it for the next one or something like that. But uh let's get into what other fight before we talk about the big one. Um what other fight what other fight did you like? I know you talked about the Robbie Lawler
Oh,
fight.
we didn't talk about Dreykus and
No, no,
Crawford.
no, no. I don't know. We're waiting for that. We're waiting for that. That's gonna be
Oh,
the end because that one's
um,
controversial.
oh crap! Which ones did we talk about?
Well, we
No,
didn't talk about the Lawler fight. I know you
yeah.
said that was a good
Hold
fight.
on, because yeah, I remember that one, but there was another guy whose name ah it was a okay. So in their last fight, it was a no contest. Or no, it wasn't a no contest. It was he grabbed the fence and he had a point deduction. Oh, Alonzo Menafield.
That's who we fought.
No, Alonzo Menafield and oh my goodness. Alonzo Menafield.
Who are you talking about right now?
What?
Who are you talking about right now?
I'm talking about the fight that I'm
Right,
answering your
Lawler.
question.
Right, Lawler fight. You said
Oh
right.
no, Lawler fought Nico Price.
So who is Alonzo?
Alonzo Menafield was just he's a middleweight. He fought
Right. Are you talking about the boxing guy? The boxing one fight? Okay.
no.
Oh,
I'm talking.
you're saying what other fight that was good? You're saying?
Yeah,
Okay, Alonzo Meadowfield.
Menafield, Alonzo Menafield, and uh, dude, why is it only showing? Oh, there it is. Prelims. Okay, it was Alonzo Menafield and Jimmy Crute. That's who it was. Yes, submission in round two. So that the first fight was an absolute war. And Alonzo Menafield would have won the fight if it wasn't for him grabbing the fence and receiving a point deduction.
Wow.
He received a point deduction and it was a draw.
Damn. Damn.
So
Mhm.
now in this fight, he came back and he submitted Jimmy Crute in the second round. So, you know, it's just I don't know, that was one of my favorite fights as well. Because bro, like just the way that he singed up the dart stroke was, insane. Um he It was honestly, it wasn't even a dart stroke. It was really like a guillotine, but it was such a nasty guillotine. It was one of those guillotines where like he folded dude's head over to like almost to his chest, like and instead dude tapped quick. He tapped quick. Um, but yeah, it was just him solidifying. He's on his way, man. He's coming. That was actually light heavyweight, not
Okay.
middleweight. It was light heavyweight. But I know I said middleweight, excuse me. But yeah, light heavyweight Alonzo Menifield and Jimmy Crute was another one of my favorites from that night. Um, Robbie Lawler and Nico Price was another one too. That fight was just the clinch, bro. That's what Robbie Lawler does, bro. Like if he gets into the clinch with you, he's really good at throwing punches from the clinch, and and he's powerful, bro.
Hmm.
Like he's powerful. He can still, he can and I think that he's leaving on a good note, leaving at
Yeah, fight. I mean, you know,
leaving at the right time. Lawler just turned 41, I
mhm.
believe.
I mean, he's
So
been in the game since 2001, right? 2002.
shoot, bro.
I think
Wow,
that's when he debuted.
Hold on one second.
Pretty sure that's when he debuted.
Robbie Lawler debut. Could be right. Robbie Lawler debut 2001. You're right. April 7th,
2001.
2001. Been in
Deadly,
the
man. That's
been in the UFC
over
for
20 years.
22 years, bro. That's
Yeah.
literally
Yeah.
LeBron's fucking basketball career.
Wow.
20 years.
He's been knocked out. He's knocked out dudes. He went through the reigns, man.
Bro,
He went
it's
through the
crazy
reigns.
because he's been in there longer than most people have basketball careers or football careers or because how long was Brady's football career? 20 years? Exactly?
Mhm.
That's crazy. And then
And
you
he's a
come out.
fighter. And
Yes,
he's a
and
fighter.
he's a fighter and he comes out and he can still talk. He
Yeah.
can
Which
still.
is crazy, right? Which is actually kind of wild. And then also he had one of the most iconic fights in history.
Yeah, him and Rory McDonald.
Roy McDonald. Would you say that was one of the greatest fights? Like
Oh
not
yeah, for
well,
sure, for sure. For
right?
sure,
Because
for
that was
sure.
just an absolute what? If you say a war, that's what you think of.
Yes.
Like that's the definition of a war,
Yeah, I'm about to
right?
watch that fight tonight. Shit.
That fight was
That you
just
said that.
absolutely crazy. I mean, both those dudes beat their noses in. Their noses were gone after that fight.
Yep.
Whatever happened to Roy McDonald after that?
I don't remember exactly who he fought next, but he Rory McDonald was um obviously a legend of the sport, but after that, I don't remember. I think that that might have been like for them that was like their peak. I mean, like
Mm.
obviously, like that's a high peak because it's just like that fight was incredible. Um, but
Those
yeah,
fights take years off you, man. Those fights take years off you, man.
Yeah, I
You're not
mean,
this. You don't leave the same way you came in.
yeah, no,
You know,
100%. Rory
scary,
McDonald,
scary
and
actually.
Rory's Canadian, man.
Oh yeah, where is he from?
Yep.
Quebec?
No, I don't think so. Rory McDonald. Let me see real quick. Rory McDonald, Canadian, but it doesn't say where he was born. It just says like he's Canadian. But where was Rory McDonald? What the fuck? Who is Rory McIlroy? McIlroy? What the hell? But listen, but Rory McDonald,
Hold on, bro. Go ahead. I'm
Que Quesnel? What's Quesnel? Whatever Quesnel Canada is. I'm not sure. All right, we're having some technical difficulties, people.
No, my bad, bro. I've never heard of questionable before
Yeah, I'm not sure where that
ever in
is.
my life.
Quesnel. Oh well,
Questionable.
it's in British Columbia. So
Oh, okay. All right. So is what do they call them? There's a name for what for people people on that area. Um, yeah, man. But yeah, those guys that fight, he definitely. That's how I kind of wished. What's his name? Actually, no, no, no. Nate left on a decent note as well. I mean, he submitted Tony Ferguson.
yeah,
So
yeah, but I mean, it's crazy. The fight that they were going to give him is unbelievable.
yeah, I know,
You
bro.
know
They would
that
have had him
that would
killed.
have been so bad, bro. I mean,
They
Rory
would have had him
McDonald.
killed.
Hey, listen to me. Rory McDonald left on a 19-4 record. So
That's good. That's
yeah,
good.
it's great. That's very
That's
good.
good. What do you know what year he left?
Um, so his last fight was against Wonder Boy in 2016.
Wow. Steven
Yeah,
Wonderboy, he lost?
yeah,
He lost, okay.
yeah.
Wow. How
Um,
old is he?
uh, how old is Rory McDonald? Probably close to. Oh wait, it actually said. I was looking at it. What? He's only 33.
Come on.
That's crazy.
Roy McDonald right now is 33?
Yeah,
Stop.
I
Stop.
swear, bro. I swear. So
No.
yeah, I mean, he.
No,
The
there's no
thing is
way.
too,
There's
bro.
there's
Your prime,
what?
your prime used to be earlier in MMA. It used to be earlier.
No, bro,
Um,
that's not the right. Oh, I guess,
what?
bro,
No,
wait a
he's
minute.
33.
Why does he look so different?
Uh, the glasses, the hair, yeah, everything. He does look very
My
different.
gosh. Let me see. Let me see here. Year. So if wait a minute, I thought that fight with Robbie Lawler happened in like the early 2000s.
Uh,
Am I no?
I mean, you may not be wrong. Robbie Lawler, bro, what the hell?
So the first fight was
Yeah,
to
they fought. Yeah.
December 13th, 2013.
Mm-hmm.
So
So what?
he
That
would
would
have
be
been
10 years. He would have been 23.
20. Man, this is the same thing that happened with well, actually it's completely different, but this is a similar thing that happened with Adrian Broner where he took a loss to a fighter that completely derailed his career at like 22 years old. Because
Mm-hmm.
before that, Adrian Broner was yeah, he's a five division world champion. I believe he's a four or five division world champion. I mean, he was beating dudes. He was on the way to become the next Mayweather essentially, and he fought someone too big, too early, and essentially derailed his whole career because he then became very gun shy. He fought Maidana, which
Mm-hmm.
Floyd essentially fought after and beat him twice, but Maidana was able to actually basically dethrone Adrian Broner because Adrian Broner went from 135 to 147. He
Mm-hmm.
skipped 140 for some reason.
Yeah.
Someone should have told him don't do that. But after that, bro, he was never able to let his hands go.
Yeah.
You
Rory
know.
Rory fought in the PFL after that.
Okay, so he got dropped from UFC.
Well, I think he may have left.
Okay.
He may have left the UFC because he only lost to Lawler and he lost to to Wonder Boy. Those are the only
Hmm.
people that he lost to. Uh,
Hmm.
let me look one more time at sorry Rory McDonald. McDonald. That's so funny. That's the way my one of my teachers in high school. He was a coach. That's how he used to say McDonald's. McDonald's.
McDonald's.
He used to say
McDonald's.
McDonald's.
Let's get into the big controversial thing that everyone's talking about, which was obviously the whole thing with Izzy and Dreyfus Duplessis. I don't.
Damn people.
Uh, so let me know what your thoughts on was about the fight in general with Whitaker.
So I think it was a size thing. That's what I believe. Obviously Whitaker knew that he had the power to get you to Dreykus had the power to knock him out, you know, and um, if he can get knocked out by Izzy, he could probably get knocked out by not to say that Izzy is, weak or doesn't have knockout power, because, he has dropped and finished multiple people. Um, but if Easy can do it, Dreykus, who is a much bigger, powerful guys, one punch power consistently. He knows that he can knock him out. And then the wrestling, the size and the difference in the wrestling, and Drake is also being a pretty skilled wrestler himself. That kind of stunted him a little bit. Um, but basically, man, it was just that's what I believe it really was he got overwhelmed by the size. Um, he got overwhelmed by the size. Even like I said, even in the wrestling exchanges with which um which Robert Whitaker usually does pretty well and really doesn't get to he doesn't spend a lot of time on the bottom. Robert Whitaker, he really
Mhm,
doesn't. So the
mhm,
fact that Dreykus was able to, whoa, uh, sorry, there's a dog hair in my mouth, was able to handle him in the wrestling department it was interesting to say the least. Um, but I don't think that we can cook you, bro. You are too quick to cook fighters, bro.
mhm.
If
Why do you
I,
say
if
that?
I, if you're just too quick. It's not boxing, okay? You gotta let these guys. They can lose. You gotta let them lose. In boxing,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
just like
But be specific. Be specific. You're talking
you
about
said we were gonna. You said we were gonna cook Robert Whitaker. Like the
no,
man's
no,
a
no. Well,
boss.
actually, no, no, no. Actually, I meant
Oh, you meant we were
you
gonna
can't.
cook Dreykus.
Yeah, yeah. Because,
Oh,
but I
okay,
will
never
say,
mind.
usually you are right about that. But
Yeah,
no,
yeah.
no. But no, I meant cook on Dreykus. Not even for the fight though. But what
uh,
happened after? But let me. But yeah, man. I mean, he did it, man. He surprised me. Dreykus did
yeah,
surprise
for
me,
sure.
man. I wasn't expecting that outcome. I think the size and the I don't even think it was the size, but I think it was the power. I mean, I guess size, yeah, the size. Um, Personally, it looks like Dreykus is juicing. Personally, to me, that's what it looks like to me. His muscles don't look natural, in my personal opinion. That's just my thoughts. I have no basis on it, but his muscles do not look natural. They look like Legos that you put on. But he had that power, man. He was able to stop Whitaker, man, and it was, you know, after about halfway through the first round, I could tell it wasn't going to go Whitaker's way. Um, he was just getting overwhelmed. It seemed like that power was really bothering him, and eventually he succumbed to it. Um, but the juicy stuff, of course, is what happened after that. Now, in your opinion, what's your thoughts on it? What's
Yeah,
your,
Israel
is
was
go ahead.
clearly drunk, in my opinion. Clearly intoxicated. He was messing up words and shit.
I fuck with. Go ahead.
He was saying like 26 in me when it's 23
36.
in me. I was
Uh,
like, oh my
he
god,
said
like
first he said 36, and then he said 26,
yeah.
and it's neither.
Yeah, it's neither. Um, nah, but he was also shit. I'm gonna try to actually scoot up into the light a little bit more. You can see my face better. Oh, actually, hold on. Give me literally 1 second because I don't know why I forgot to take this thing off. But uh, but basically, it's very much understandable because he was angry. He's angry at
Mhm.
Dreykus for basically talking shit and saying that he would be the first ever
African.
African champ. The whole basis of that is he was just trying to be like, take my DNA, take my genetics, and it would say that I'm Nigerian. You
Mhm.
take yours, it would say that you're from somewhere that your
Dutch.
ancestors are from
He's
somewhere
Dutch.
in Europe. Your
Yeah.
people are essentially invaders.
Yes,
So
colonizers.
so you're very it's very
Arrogant.
disrespectful.
It is.
It's very disrespectful to say your people committed genocide.
Yes.
So for you to say that you'd be the first, okay, maybe if you were born there, and that's what so okay, fine, you can say that you're African, but you can't
Right.
say that
You're
you're
the
the
first
first
one.
African champion or
See,
you're a representative of Africa. Like that's different.
yes, that's and this is the point I'm trying to get people to understand. Okay, we're not saying there's anything wrong with being prideful for where you were born. That's not. There was no issue with that. But he went a step too far, saying he was the first African he would be the first African champion.
Hmm.
Who in the world are you to say
Basically,
that?
basically, he was trying to say, "Oh, because I trained out of
Right.
Africa,
Which
I do
has
this."
which is irrelevant.
Yeah,
Irrelevant.
yeah.
You know?
Well, who's you mean?
Which is
What's his
first of
name?
all the reason.
Yair Rodriguez is not trained in Mexico. You know,
Hmm.
I mean, he trained in Mexico for this fight, but
Hmm.
he doesn't really train out of Mexico like that. He trains, um, I can't even remember his gym, man, but he trains, he trains out of America, but
Yeah.
he's still a Mexican. He's Mexican, so
He
he's
represents Mexico. He's
yeah, so he
he
represents
reps
Mexico.
right. The
Same
thing
thing
about
with
it,
no,
go
go
ahead.
for it.
So what I'm saying is the very reason he's able to train in Africa for a lot of these dudes is the same reason why a lot of the native Africans can't, right? Now, what I mean by that is the same benefits that he carries because he's a white guy and he was born in Africa, especially South Africa, which the apartheid just came loose in like 91. If you don't know what apartheid is, that's pretty much segregation, but in Africa. That just came loose in 91 or something like that, right? The same benefits. First of all, they haven't even given the South Africans, the white South Africans have
Bro,
not given
bro,
back.
you have to say that all again because
Oh, your Wi Fi cut out?
yeah, I don't know why it's doing that, bro. My Wi-Fi has
Damn.
been. How does the picture
Well,
look? Does it still look good?
it's, yeah,
Yeah,
it's better now.
it still look handsome.
Indeed. So pretty much I was saying, apartheid just died in like 91, right? Which is like, segregation, African segregation, right?
Hmm.
So the very fact that he has these advantages is because of his history and his ancestors committing genocide on the African people, right? The native African people, right? So he as a man should know history and respect the history, right?
Hmm.
Yes, you may have been born there, but you do not originate there. Okay? Learn some respect. Okay? Your people went in there and genocide, killed, raped, did all types of foul things to these people. And because of the fact that they did that, you're in a position where you are right now. Right? It's just we're not saying that you don't have to feel guilty on it, but respect it and understand the history. Don't go saying some disrespectful shit about you're the first African. Are you insane? And Izzy clearly was very angry at that. And I was and man, I'm not gonna lie, I already liked Izzy, right? I already liked him. He's one of my favorite fighters, personality wise and skill wise, um, style wise. But I was so glad when he did that. I wasn't expecting it at all. I mean, just I fucked with the way he came through. Obviously, he was drunk.
Yeah,
He's
man.
the word.
When he was saying "What up, nigga? What up, my?" He was
Yeah,
saying it because
yeah,
he knows he can't say it back.
exactly right. Because if he's African, he would have been
Hmm.
able to. Right? He says he's African. Obviously, these words aren't correct, unfortunately, because there could be a white African American. Like there's an actor. She was born in South Africa, but she emigrated to America. So
Hmm.
technically, she's African American. So these words don't even really they don't really work. But nonetheless, I see what he was trying to do. Dreykus wanted to say that shit. He wanted to say that shit.
Hmm.
What I'm saying, but he knew he couldn't say it. What I'm saying, and he was saying, I just the energy he came through, and Dreykus knew how it would perceive if he said anything. And my thing is, right, stand on your square then. Continue to say what you were saying,
Hmm.
right? But clearly he knows he was in the wrong. So he hasn't even addressed what he said before.
I mean,
And
my thing is, people
that's
say
how the
that
whole thing started. But go
he's
ahead.
just trying to get that fight, though. That's the thing, and that's why I think that I don't even think he really believes that.
Yeah, I mean, it's just
I
yeah,
think he's just trying to
maybe
get
so,
that
man.
fight.
Maybe so, man. And I wouldn't doubt it, but it just is that rubbed me the wrong way when I heard that when you said that stuff. It
Hmm.
really, really, really rubbed me the wrong way, and obviously it rubbed Izzy the wrong way as well because you got three dudes, and the perfect example is Francis. Francis, the story that you told me of what he had to do to
Yeah.
make it to America,
Hmm.
right? That's the perfect example of how because of the colonialism in Africa, dudes like that had to do what he did to get an opportunity. You know what I'm saying? So it's not
Mhm.
as easy as him staying in Africa. He may have never even got a shot if he did that. Most of the black people, they gotta leave Africa to get known. Just like dudes gotta leave Cuba to get known. Just like dudes gotta leave Mexico to get known. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? You gotta go into that big light. So I thought it was just very distasteful to what he said, obviously previously months before, but Izzy came through with that fire. Izzy, and I think Izzy absolutely dismantles Dreykus. That's what I think.
Yeah,
Um
that it's gonna be it's gonna be ugly, bro. It would be
eh,
ugly.
yeah. And
It would
especially
be
Izzy don't like him. Especially Izzy don't like him.
there could be some issues with the wrestling. That's the only
Yeah, I
thing
I
that I
I I
would.
hope he doesn't fight him emotionally, but
Hmm.
I have enough faith in Izzy that he's going to be able to fight it smart. But other than that, if they stay on the feet, I think. But even if they do get on the floor, if he suc does he even successfully take Izzy down though? That's the question. I don't think he does, right?
Hmm.
But anything is possible. It's UFC. Anything can happen.
He can, but Izzy has to he has to have his wrestling down. Izzy. I hate to say it, but even though Izzy's takedown defense is very good, he can look a bit unnatural when you get too close to him.
Hmm.
Very
I see what you mean. I see what you mean.
very he's very used to being on the outside, very long for the weight class, very tall
Hmm.
for the weight class.
Hmm.
He's just very used to being on the outside, where it's where he does his best work. Where he can stand on the outside, where you can't touch him, and he can just put his shots in. Lay into you, pick you apart from range.
Yes.
And
Hmm.
when people get inside of him, he looks a little bit uncomfortable.
I see.
Um,
I know. I get what you're saying. And I
but
agree actually.
yeah, but that's really that's the only issue that I have
Hmm.
with him. But um, his movement is incredible, and he's very fast, and I just believe that he can stay away. I believe that he just has to stay on the outside and stay away. But Dreykus is going to constantly be trying to close the distance and take him down. Like that's one
Right.
thing that you just have to look
Yeah.
at. Is he's
Yeah.
just
That's what he's
gonna
gonna continue to try that. He's gonna
yeah,
continue to try that.
uh,
Well,
the,
that's the only way. That's his only keys to victory. Really, he's not gonna beat him on the feet. He's not gonna be able to outstrike him. That's not gonna happen.
mhm.
But we'll go ahead and wrap it up, man.
I mean,
You already know.
if I
Go
could
ahead.
say, I mean, even with Whitaker, I didn't like the way that Whitaker was darting in with with that power threat that was there. That's how he lost against Israel Adesanya. Was Izzy just he likes to dart in? He's known for that, and Izzy just timed that. Izzy was timing that.
Exactly.
He
Timing,
he,
man.
he timed it with the second time that he fought Izzy. He was doing less of that.
Yeah, he was
Being
right.
much more patient, you know, he's countering a little bit. Drog is he in a little bit, mixing in the wrestling, some of the takedowns. Um, but that's how he has to fight, man. That's how he has to fight. Is he has to be patient when it comes to these guys who are very skilled strikers and the guys that can knock you out. But I didn't like the way that he was starting it. It made me nervous. Yeah, I'll say
Hmm.
it. I'll put it that way. The way that he was starting it was just like, oh my goodness, this. We've seen this before. He's gonna get timed up with like a left hook or something like
And
that, and he's just
and he
gonna
just
get.
and he just came right down. As soon as he got timed, he
Mhm.
just came right down.
And he
He just
doesn't keep his
crumbled.
hands too high either.
Yeah, and bro, he keeps them down, man. I mean, obviously you told me the reasoning for dudes doing that, but I mean, we saw it last night. I mean, he got caught. His hands is down as hell. Doing this. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, he's a
Hmm.
great fighter. He's a
Yeah.
great fighter. I just think it's he certain styles give him trouble. Certain styles give
Hmm.
him trouble. Power, and and if you have the right IQ, you'll be able to finish him.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? If you got the right IQ. Uh, but you already know what it is, man. Like and subscribe for more content, man. Hit that bell icon for more notifications. The Red Corner podcast. We are gone. We'll see you next week. Peace.